Hi, ladies. This message was coming through for some time, and today was the day. I feel like we in the middle of the journey in 30 days health container, and this message may be very, very beneficial for you to finish strong the remaining 2 weeks or 15 days. So first of all, I wanted to congratulate you all because you are still here, you're still doing work, and you see results. And as we go into the second part of our work and start looking deeper in the health issues, I just wanted to pop up and make few reminders and share a few things that may be very, very helpful on this journey. First thing I wanted to talk about, please remember in these 30 days you are building the base, because what they say, for change to start, to become familiar for your body, for your nervous system, for your emotions, it takes 21 days. We are going for 30 days. And for the change to become grounded in your life, it takes 90 days plus. And I would add here, 90 days plus willingness to do work, willingness to take responsibility, and to be open for the change. And honestly, taking responsibility and being open for the change are the hardest two, especially for those who wasn't for that long in personal development and healing field, because we all been there and we know how it feels. We all came in whatever was our first healing container, whatever was our first course, whatever was our first step into personal development, energy work, healing. We were promised, if we buy this course, if we do this one step, if we do this thing, our problem will disappear. And I hope you all been on this journey for some time do understand now that no, there is no one who can save you or rescue you. And that's why we had our first meeting, and I was telling you, like, ladies, you all need to find your values, do your work, find something that will motivate you to do this work, because you will actually need to do all the work by yourself. And that's true for each of us who wants any kind of change in our life. And I highly recommend to go back to our first meeting and to revisit it, because like there were so many important pieces of information, and now as you started the change, you will hear for sure some things in very different way. Or maybe now you will hear something that you missed first time when we had our meeting. So highly recommend to revisit this. But I wanted to talk about number of things today, and I literally made the list so I will not forget anything. But first one, it's what I said, it's taking full responsibility for your journey and for your change, and be open to the change. And of course, like you will say, Yeah, I'm here because I want this change. I want to heal. I want my body to be healthy. I understand that part, yeah. We all here for this reason, but that's what is going on consciously. And our conscious brain operates maybe 10%, 15% of our life. The rest is our subconscious. Our subconscious is our whole body, is our nervous system, is fascia that keeps memory of all our traumas and how we learn to survive them. It's the way we respond to triggers. It's our energetic body, it's our mental body, our thoughts. So it's whole volume of things that determine our subconscious actions, thoughts, beliefs, and ability to change. And why we talk about taking full responsibility? As I said, there is no one who can rescue you. It would have been super cool if someone could just, take my hand, your hand, and just lead us out of the situation we are in, and preferably carry, so we don't need to walk. However, you do understand. You do understand deep down that it's impossible. And if by this time, however old you are at this moment, no one came to carry you out of the situation, and it transformed into very tangible health issues that you're dealing with, very likely nobody is coming to carry you out of that situation. You need to make conscious choice. You staying where you are now, or you choosing something different. And if you're choosing something different, what are you willing to do to get where you want to be? And that's where values kick in. You need to find your why to be able to continue, keep going, and make changes. That's first rule for the successful change to occur. You need to be consistent. You need to be able to do it for long enough. So what we do with gratitude practices, while I 100% believe that gratitude does change our frequency into higher one, and at the higher frequency better outcomes are available. What it does at the conscious level, it trains us to look for the positive things. It trains us to look for the confirmation that what we want is coming. It helps us to see positive outcome as if it happened already before you see it in the physical realm. It's very important. And here you have only two choices. Well, you have three choices. You have three choices, really. Your first choice is to constantly look back, look at the health condition you don't like, and keep checking daily if it's still here. Trust me, if you do that, it still will be here. And why? We talked about why in our first meeting. because where your attention goes, energy flows. Where your attention goes, energy flows. What it means? It means that if you set your intention and you sit for like 20 minutes in the morning and you're going through gratitude and like, thank you for my perfect health, thank you for this, thank you for that. And then on the minute 21 and for the rest of the day, you're like, oh, this is still hurts. This is still uncomfortable. Yeah, I feel like that symptom is still there. Yeah, you spend 20 minutes to look in the future, in the life where you don't have this health condition, but then you spending 23 and a half hours into energizing your health condition. Guess what will prevail? Am I telling you to close your eyes and forget about your health condition? Yeah. Yes. Play pretend. I'm not telling you to give up your medication. I'm not telling you to pretend that you can do physical actions you cannot do. I'm telling you, instead of looking if symptoms are still there, if pain is still there, if physical condition is still there, look for the confirmation that it's getting better. Even 1% of improvement, it is improvement. Considering that we are still in this 21-day phase, when you're building your new neuron connections, to teach yourself, look for the positive outcomes. See good in your day more than bad. See your body healthy more than to see it not healthy. And it's conscious work. Nobody can do it for you. Nobody can rewire your brain for you. Only you. Only you can consciously make a choice to look for the positive things. To look for the circumstances where you have perfect health. To look for that 1% of improvement every day. 1%. And you know, if you do just 1% of improvement every day, regardless what area it is it health, is it relations, is it looking for better job, is it money, is it building your business, 1% of improvement every day puts you ahead of 90% of people. Think about it, 90%. 90% will say they want something, but they are not ready to do a work. 90% of people will say they want the change, but they are not willing to change. So I want to congratulate you again that you're taking your steps, that you're doing what you committed to do, and keep going. Keep going. Keep going for 30 days. After 30 days, keep going for another 90 days. When this container is over, you still can support each other. You still can pat yourself on the shoulder and say like, hey, good job. You're still going, you're still doing your 1% of improvement. So 2 keys for the successful change. It's to be open and to be willing to take responsibility for creating that change. What it means to be open. Be open, it's when you come, when you receive your daily healing, when you do your daily gratitude practice, when you come back to your values, maybe you do other practices, and your attention and all your thoughts go into my health is getting better and better every day. Even if it's just 1%, it's 1% better than it was yesterday. And what means to take responsibility? Responsibility is conscious choice to go for the change. Think about it. Let's look at the large scale. Many sins, I will say all the sins, were created in the energetic realm before they were created in the physical realm. How did it happen? Let's take electricity, something we use today. We know cables run in the wall. We know how to turn it on and off. Not all of us, or maybe none of us, knows how it works exactly, but we know how to use it. It wasn't always there. Before, people were using fire, people were using candles, people were using kerosene lamps. Electricity wasn't here. And then there was a person who knew. My personal belief, people receive downloads for what can be created, and some start on it, and others never do because it's never a good time to start. So, what happened? Like, think about it. There was person, and I totally believe that it's not one person who receives download to create something. They still need to create it because it doesn't exist. So they cannot see it. No one around them saw it. And they don't know how to make it work. Because it never existed in the physical realm. But it exists in their mind. It exists in their energetic field. It exists already in their mental body. It exists already in their emotional body. And think about it. If they would look at what exists in front of them in the physical realm, they would see candle that gives light. There was no electricity. And if their mind would listen to their environment and would only listen to what exists in physical realm, and they would tell to themselves like, oh, change is not happening, electricity is still not here, and I did like these 10 different things, and I still cannot get that thing that probably didn't even have name electricity. It was idea. if they would have fueled that idea with thoughts, or maybe it will not happen. I'm not sure if it works for me because I tried 10 times and it's still not here. You know what? We still wouldn't have electricity. And funny part, universe always gives these downloads to multiple people. And you can look back in any area you are interested in. Let's say, let's take scientific discoveries. You will see like one group of scientists in this part of the world, they would discover something. And just like few weeks or few days later, or at the same time, another group of scientists would discover the same thing here, and they wouldn't know each other. They wouldn't know they were working on the same thing. They wouldn't know what the other group discovered until they both do statement on this discovery or publish it in the journal or something, and then they know that they both discover something. Why universe always gives same ideas to many people? Because we have our human willpower. And some will never will be acting on that idea. There are many people who will say like it's not a good time now, I don't have time now, maybe like later, and it never will happen, it will stay idea. And you know those people who have like really bright ideas for 10 years, it never happens until it's irrelevant or someone else created what they wanted to create. Then other people, they will make just as many attempts and they will stop. They will label it doesn't work, impossible. Once they label it impossible, it became for them impossible. Remember, key rule of creation, if you say something is possible for you, it is 100% possible for you. If you are saying something is impossible for you, it is 100% impossible for you. You choose. No one else can choose for you. No one else can give you permission. You give yourself permission. If you say it's impossible, it is impossible for you. If you say it is possible, it is possible for you. So I really invite you to look at your achievements up to date, specifically on working with your health issue, and look for that 1%. And tell yourself, I got it. I made as much of improvements. And for some of you, it will be 1 or 2%. For some of you, it will be 10, 20, 40, 50, whatever. You decide what percentage of improvement you achieved. And tell yourself, if I achieved as much now, I absolutely can achieve whatever result I have in mind. And fuel that. Don't look back how bad it was. Because you know what? You will cancel all the results you achieved. Past is past. Leave it in the past. Stay in now and look in the future. There is nothing in the past you can change. You can admit it happened, you can be present, and you can look in the future at what you want. Stop looking at what you don't want. Stop fueling it. If you want what you want, start fueling what you want. Every hour on the hour, every day. Keep your eyes on what you want, regardless what your physical reality tells you. Why? Because look what happens. We do energy healings. Every day you receive them. And none of us know what exactly gets cleared and shifted for you energetically. Because I facilitate them. But I absolutely believe it's higher powers, higher energies, your guides that know what is the best for you and that actually provide you with the healings. I just facilitate them so energy can flow through me. And you know what, little tip, even when we finish with our healings, even when 30 days are up, if you don't do energy healings, and if you don't work in any other modality, you still can facilitate very powerful healings by praying for others, by praying from your heart for others, not for yourself, for others. You will be given the same what you ask for others. And by continuing with gratitude, and hopefully my goal is for the gratitude practice become your daily routine. Same like brushing your teeth, washing your face, hands, taking shower. Gratitude. You don't need to write it down. We write it down now to bring it into physical reality, so you can see the letters, you can read them, your hand writes them. It creates new neuron connections in your brain as well. But if you're saying thank you from your heart, it's very powerful as well. So take it and use it. And where else responsibility kicks in? And I want you to hear me here. It may be hard pill to swallow. And trust me, I had to swallow many of those pills on my own when I was going through my journeys, and still going. Everything that we have in our life now, in any area of our life, we created it. If you have something in your life that you don't like, I'm sorry to tell you, but you created it. And when you will be able to accept it as truth, you will take all your power back. Why? Because when we believe that life happens to us, and it's them who came and did something onto us, it means we don't have power over circumstances. Because them may return and do something else, or somebody else, like some other them, may come and do something, and life happens to me. And I'm just on receiving end, and I cannot do anything about it. But once you truly accept that yes, I created everything in my life up until now, all the good things, all the bad things. Look what happens. You take your power back. Because when you created something you don't like, you have power within to remove what you don't like and create something new that you actually do like. Think if you would have made beautiful vase. Maybe you want to learn how to blow those beautiful vases from the glass. And you try one, and it came out ugly. It was your first one. Or second one. Does it mean you need to take that vase, bring it to your house, put it in prime spot, and every hour on the hour look at this vase and tell yourself, oh my God, I created such an ugly vase and now I need to look at it for the rest of my life? Of course no. You learning to create something, you tried it in a certain way, it didn't work out. Now you can try again. And if you don't like your second attempt, you can try again. So it gives you very active role in your life. Now nothing happens to you, but you create it, and if you had enough power to create what you don't like, absolutely certainly, you have enough power to create what you do like. And let's extrapolate it to health. I told in our first meeting, and I absolutely, totally believe it. If you fall down, you broke your arm, leg, you bleeding, something happens, absolutely for sure you need medical attention. Certainly, because otherwise you may die. You need a doctor. And even if that situation, we spin a little bit and look back, we will find reasons, energetic reasons, why that happened and how you created it. And how it redirects you in any other way. But immediately in this moment, before we will undo something, we need medical attention. Now, when you have any long-term health conditions, any allergies, any autoimmune diseases, rashes, anything of this nature, I absolutely 100% believe that problem started with your actions before. Problem started at energetic level, and definitely your body was talking to you. You knew you was doing something you're not supposed to be doing. Certainly. But then you had your belief system. You had your patterns to respond to triggers. You had your fears that were ruling your life. And you was dismissing what your body was telling you for that long. And you was dismissing it until your body became really, really, really loud. So you cannot ignore it anymore. And good example. Let's say I'm in my workspace and I don't agree with something. Maybe I don't agree how majority treats someone. Maybe I don't agree with decisions that were made. Maybe I don't agree with how I am treated. I don't agree with something. And I can feel it in my body, because we all can. Your body gets tight. You feel smaller. And you know you have to speak up. You know there is point where you need to set boundary. You know there is point where you need to say no. And you don't do it. And you live into the same situation day after day, Monday through Friday. You're not speaking your truth. Or maybe it's at home, in your relations with your significant other or your children. They stepping over your boundaries, you ignoring it, you finding excuse. What runs you? Maybe you're afraid they will not love you anymore. Maybe you subconsciously fear you may be excluded, or you will be judged, or someone will say you are not team player. Whatever program is running inside of you. But the fact you knew you have to speak up, and you chose to be quiet. What happens? One morning, I will wake up with sore throat, or I will wake up without voice. Because my nervous system, my body, was telling me for whole week, 2 or 3, that it's not okay, that I need to do something different. And I was suppressing it. Like, yes, my body is tense. I feel small. All my muscles are tense. I'm not breathing normally as a result. My breath is shallow. So my body goes in full fight or flight response, and I still don't speak up. To be a good person, to be a team player, to be loved, to not be difficult, whatever reason. We all have our own reasons. My body talks to me in the way then that I cannot ignore, that I cannot just suppress. And now I have a choice. Either I will speak up, or I will continue to suppress it. And since all groups form based on the same traumas, let's talk about helpers and rescuers. You have your best friend's problems. She always calls you to share everything that happened in her life. your colleagues come to you to share all the problems that happen in their life. And of course, you feel like you need to give them good advice and you need to help them because they cannot do it by themselves. And then you come home and you feel like you need to resolve problems of your sister, of your brother, of your mother, of your father, of your significant other, and of course of your best friend. And then somebody calls to borrow money, and somebody calls to ask for this help, and somebody calls to ask to help them move, whatever it can be. And you're saying yes because you feel like they cannot do it without you. You feel like you have to help them because it's so easy for you to help. And it will be so hard for them to resolve that issue by themselves. So what happens now? Please remember, every person can deal and resolve all the problems that were given to them. Each soul we encounter in this journey, same as us, they came here to resolve their karmic lessons, to work on their sins that they chose to before they came to this planet. And they absolutely, certainly can deal with their problems. Also, you came to this planet to deal on your karmic lessons, to deal on your patterns, to deal with your family's patterns. And of course, life will throw situations at you that will trigger those patterns, so you finally can notice them and do something different. So if you're someone who always rushes to rescue someone else, to help them with their problems, if you're someone who can get up from their dinner table when they're having dinner with their family because best friend is calling them at that moment and crying and needs your time to listen to her, and you cannot say like, hey, I will call you later. That's for you. All these situations, they are testing your boundaries. And I'm not saying you shouldn't be helping people. I'm saying you should have your boundaries. You should have your terms of availability. Yes, sure. At this moment, I choose to help you. I choose to dedicate my time and my resources to helping you. Sorry, at this time, it's my time. This is the problem you totally should have been able to deal with. And with this problem, you didn't deal for the last 5 years. And you had it for the last 5 years. And you was complaining about it for the last 5 years, but you never dealt with this. So, sorry, I need to remove myself from the picture. I love you. I'm staying in touch with you. I'm sending you love. But I don't want to be in the mix. So those situations were calling on you to revisit your personal boundaries, or maybe to establish them. And if you didn't understand it, Or if you chose to be a good person, whatever good person in your understanding is, what you getting as a result? Well, very often you start gaining weight because you need to have weight to carry everyone else's problems on your back so they will not squish you into the ground. You start having back pain because all those problems are on your back. And whatever problems we as individuals have, whatever situations we encounter in our life path, absolutely, definitely, and totally, we have abilities, or we can wake up in ourselves abilities to deal with those problems. Those are problems we sign up for, to live through and clear our karmic lessons. However, we definitely don't have physical abilities and mental capacities and energetic capacities to handle someone else's problems. So when you ignore the urge to remove from yourself problems that others were bringing to the table, what you start having? Well, notice, you will be sitting something like this. You always want to bend forward because they're literally pressing on you. You start having back pain because they are literally on your back. Think heavy backpack. It's always with you 24/7. And whenever you go, whatever you do, you always carry it with you. Take a bag or backpack, put there books, heavy books, a lot of books, and try carry it for whole day with you. When you cook, when you walk your dog, when you play with your kids, when you do your chores, when you do grocery shopping, how would you feel by the end of the day if you will make it to the end of the day with that backpack? If you will not remove it earlier? You will be dreaming of the minute when you can remove it. However, we happily take on problems of others and carry them on our backs as heavy backpacks, and we feel like we are good people now. And I may guess here, if that's you, if now I described you, very often you're not getting thank you for all the times when you're helping someone else with their problems. You expect it to show up. So they usually, they ask only first few times if you can. Then it's just like expectation that you will be available. And they never show up when you need help. With your problems, you need to deal on your own. Did I guess or did I guess? So, what change calls for? And especially when we're looking at the health issue. First of all, as many of you noticed, in the first week, a lot of those patterns start coming to the surface. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. And once you see it and you admit you have them, you have absolute power to replace it and change it for something that actually serves you. You have absolute and full ability to set your boundaries, to say no, to start doing something different, to start speaking your truth. Yes, your environment will not like it, absolutely, but they will adjust. Why they will not like it? Because you became less comfortable. You was extremely comfortable. You saw yourself as a good person. And you was, you are. If you invest all the time that you had and resources into others, absolutely you had the best intentions. However, sorry to tell it, people who were using you for that help, they saw you as comfortable. And when you start setting your boundaries, when you start saying no, when you start speaking your truth, when you start doing things that are opposite to your usual pattern that came up for you, you become uncomfortable. And what may happen? Some people will leave your life. That's truth. Because they were using you, and if they cannot use you anymore, they have no business to stay in your life because they cannot get anything out of you anymore. So they go to look for next nice person who will be comfortable. And other people, they will protest at first because you changed. When you break in your patterns, you disturb their patterns because you was present in there. But they will adjust. And they will start respecting your new boundaries. And you will see how your body will say thank you. So talking about going back to responsibility, it is your responsibility to look at your patterns. Look what shows up. If you was truly receiving all these energy healings and doing gratitude, your usual environment was rattled and disturbed, and something came out. Situations that trigger you came out. Maybe it's victim mode turned on when you feel like you want to be rescued. So opposite will be to take full responsibility and start taking actions. Maybe it's boundaries thing came up. Then you know what? Then it's establishing boundaries. Maybe it's taking problems of others on came up. Then it's removing problems of others. Whatever came up, please do opposite to what you normally would have been doing. If nothing came up yet, please make it your job to start paying attention what's in your day is different from when you just started the 30 days container. What comes up? What triggers you? Look what triggers you. Trigger, it's not them. It's not someone that comes trigger you. Trigger, it's when somebody's actions or somebody's looks or somebody's voice starts in you trauma response and makes you to react in certain ways and to do certain actions. Look for those patterns. Until you find them and you change them and you rewrite them and you start consciously take new actions By the choice, very likely your health issue will stay in place. You need to undo your previous actions to receive new results. Old actions will bring old results. You need new actions to undo results you created and you don't like. And if you continue with old actions, you will have the same situation you have now. So that's where your responsibility kicks in. And now the most important part. If you got to this point, this is the most important part of this message. And I believe they all were very important. Because we all need reminder, and I'm sure you heard it differently than you would have heard it on day one. So what is energy healing? We have multiple bodies, each of us. We have energetic body. It's our energy, our aura, our field. We have emotional body, self-explanatory, our emotions. We have mental body, our thoughts, our thought forms. And we have our physical body. And it reflects realities. And we talked a lot about it on our first meeting. So like if you want to revisit, please go back to that video. I will not talk about it now. But as you see, energetic body is the one we cannot touch. We know it's there. We feel energy. We feel energy of others. But you cannot just touch it. Physical body is the most dense form of our body. We can touch it like it physically exists. It takes space. And as such, change at energetic level happens instantaneously. What happens when we do energy healing? We remove pattern. We remove block, which is stuck dense energy. Maybe it's a thought form that was fueled so much through repetition that it literally started living its own life. And we refuel it with energy of creation, energy of healing. So energetically, healing happens instantaneously. And your question may be, okay, it happens instantaneously, why I don't see it instantaneously in my body? And truth is, you may actually see it instantaneously in your body if you open to it. So you don't have that belief like, oh, I'm not sure if it will work. Nothing else was working for me, so maybe this one will not work too. If you have those kinds of beliefs, forget about instantaneous results. For instantaneous results, your belief must be, of course it works for me. Of course it heals my symptoms, heals my body, heals root of the problem. That's when instantaneous results are possible. For most people, it's graduate results in the physical body. And to get those graduate results in the physical body, what we need to do, and it's a key ingredient, we need to ground that new, healed identity into our physical body. I hope I didn't lose you there. How do we ground it? Through actions. So when you received energy healing, your energetic body got cleared. However, you need to direct that energy in your physical reality. How you direct that energy in your physical reality? Through actions. And let's keep in mind, no actions are actions on its own. So what are the choices? Choices are, and many people will choose this, you receive energy healing, you come out of it, you checked yourself, okay, symptoms are still there, everything's the same, and you go to do the same actions. Same actions as you was doing yesterday, as you was doing before yesterday, same reactions, same choices, same everything. Guess what happens? You start directing your energy in your past outcomes, past patterns, past results, so they need to reinstate in your energetic body. Maybe it will take 1 or 2 days. But absolutely for sure, if you fuel your past, if you fuel with your energy, meaning with your attention, your past outcomes, if you fuel with your energy, meaning with your actions, your past reactions to triggers, your past reactions where whole your body screams no, you fuel your past outcomes, and absolutely for sure, they will reinstate in your energetic body. So what to do to get new results? After you received your healing, as soon as you set your intention and you mean it, your healing starts. And what is your responsibility? It's to start taking new actions. So let's say you received your healing, you go through your day, and consciously you start fueling and looking at the version that you want to be. Version that doesn't have specific health condition. Version of you that is absolutely healthy. So you need to think, how does that version operate? Let's say you are absolutely healthy now. If you know absolutely for sure that you are totally healthy, or if you know absolutely for sure you don't have certain condition, will you wake up and start looking for that condition? Will you come out of energy healing and start looking for that condition, if it's there or not, if symptoms are there or not? Let's say if I know I went to bed healthy, I will not wake up and start looking for flu symptoms. I don't have reasons. I know I don't have flu. Why on earth I would start looking for flu symptoms? Please extrapolate to your health condition. If you know you don't have that health condition, you never in your life will start looking for it. You will concentrate on your healthy body. And that's how you direct energy into physical reality. And remember, physical reality is the most dense one, and there is always time lag. There is time lag between the time you set your intention and you start fueling your new version and the time you can start see that version. And there will not be any fireworks, there will not be any announcement. What will happen one morning you wake up and you notice you move different, you respond different, your nervous system's feeling better, and you don't feel that discomfort you got used to feel. But what you do, what is your part of work, it's every time you set intention, I want to be the healthiest version of me available to me at this moment. I want to be version of me who's absolutely healthy and happy and flexible and. Your responsibility is to ground that energy in every cell of your body through your actions. You start thinking as version that absolutely healthy. You start acting as version that absolutely healthy. And I need to put caveat here. Of course, within your limits. You don't start with preparing for marathon if you never run. You start with small steps, but you are doing them. You ground your energy by consciously choosing to respond to your patterns and circumstances differently. You ground that new energy through consciously choosing new thoughts, like gratitude instead of complaining, like talking about health instead of recounting health issues. That's where your responsibility kicks in, and that's where you need to take yourself by your hand and rescue yourself. I love you ladies so much. I know it was way longer than I thought it will be, but I hope each of you will find that missing piece of puzzle, that little thing that stops your progress at this moment and that will help you to propel you forward. And I'm looking forward to start our big exercise next weekend and to move into our individual sessions, and I will be making posts tomorrow. Love you all. I wish you great results, and we will be in touch soon. Bye-bye.